Okay, in hydrocarbons, particularly in uh, alkanes, cracking is a very useful process. Okay, is a very useful process. Now, uh, what is cracking? What is the purpose of cracking and the process of cracking? Okay, and an example. This is what we need to learn. Cracking is nothing but a decomposition. Cracking is same as decomposition, but decomposition of alkanes, of hydrocarbons. So it is breakdown. Cracking means it's a breakdown of longer chain hydrocarbons into these longer chain hydrocarbons are usually alkanes into shorter chain alkanes and alkenes. Okay. So when you break down a longer chain hydrocarbon into two smaller hydrocarbons, the smaller hydrocarbons may be alkanes or alkenes, or sometimes even hydrogen. You even get hydrogen. So this process is called as cracking. Okay. The purpose of this we'll see after the example. So I'm taking an example of C10. If C10, then H how many? If it's an alkane, then
22.
H22. So it's a longer chain hydrocarbon having 10 carbon atoms in the chain. So when I crack this, it will break. It will split into two fragments. The fragmentation can be controlled and you can fragment it into any two parts. Like agar total 10 carbon atoms hai, so you can split it into 2 plus 8 or 3 plus 7 or 4 plus 6 or 5 plus 5. Okay, you can fragment it into any combination, but that depends on the reaction conditions, catalyst, etc. So let's say that I'm splitting this into 2 plus 8 combination, like 10 carbons into are breaking into 2 and 8. So C2 and C8. Now out of these, any one will be alkane and the other will be alkene. Whenever you get two fragments, one has to be alkene and other is alkane. So let's say
So
that what?
what's an alkene?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll explain that. You can simply remember that alkenes have two hydrogens less than alkanes. Alkene is another homologous series which you'll learn after the alkane, like next after your CC. But alkene, like alkane may, the formula is CnH2n plus 2. Alkene may the formula is CnH2n. Okay, note no plus 2. So agar if suppose C2 is alkane, then H would have been how many? Agar C2 alkane hai to 6 na, so I will write 4. For alkene I will write 4. Okay. C8 is alkane. So H how many?
18.
18. Okay. Now just check if the total number of carbons C2, C8, total C10. That's fine. H4, H18, total H22. That's fine. Okay. So this there should be balancing. Now what else should you know? The reaction conditions. 500 degrees centigrade, or you can simply write heat. And catalyst may you can write alumina or silica or zeolite, or simply write catalyst. Don't mention any name, anything is fine. Those are the reaction conditions. One product here is ethene. Other product is octane. And this one is decane. So decane broken down to ethene and octane. Now we should know the uses. Ethene is used to make plastic. Okay. Now, no need to emphasize on that how useful ethene is, because plastic is so much a necessity today. We can't live without plastic. So ethene is used to make plastic. Octane is petrol. Again, I don't need to emphasize how important it is. And decane is not a very useful fragment. Decane is not a very useful fragment. So what I did here in the cracking, so now the purpose of cracking, why do we need to do this? If I have a fraction which is not so useful, I can convert that into fractions which are very useful or high in demand. So less in demand fraction can be converted into high in demand fractions. So that's the purpose of cracking.
So
Yeah.
the cracking only happens to alkanes.
Not necessarily, but the cracking that we have will only include questions involving alkanes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So purpose of cracking is to convert less in demand fraction into more in demand fraction. Okay. So we learned what is cracking, the process of cracking, like reaction conditions, example of cracking, and the purpose of cracking. Okay. So that's all about cracking. Any questions here? No? Okay. One more example of cracking we will take. Like here in this example, an alkane is converted into alkene and alkane. Another example, I'm expecting you all to recall something after we finish this example. If I'm cracking ethane using the same conditions, 500 degrees centigrade and the catalyst, ethane I cannot break into 1 plus 1, because you'll get methane because there is no methane. Two methane, two alkanes you can't get. So what you will get here is alkene, which is C2H4 plus what is the other product?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen. Okay. Now, do you recall something? Where is this process mentioned in some other
Plus,
chapter? Hydrogen. Where is hydrogen used? To make ammonia. If you remember, in making of ammonia, there are three sources of hydrogen, we say. Three sources of hydrogen, we say. One of the sources, cracking of alkane. You don't remember? Haber process we did, na? We did Haber process, na?
So.
Huh. Okay. So Haber process mein there were three sources of hydrogen. One is electrolysis of water or brine. Second is steam reforming of natural gas, and third was this cracking of alkane. I must have told you at that time that cracking in detail we'll see later in grade 10.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So ethane, when cracked, will give you hydrogen, which can be used in making of ammonia in Haber process.